Bonjour et bienvenue sur ma chaîne. Hello and welcome to my channel. In today's video, we're going to talk about 25 French expressions French people use on a regular basis. So it is useful for you to know them because it will help you understand French people as we all use expressions all the time. And also if you use them yourself, it will help you be more fluent because you can't always translate word for word. And often it doesn't even make sense when you do and people don't understand what you mean because expressions are often typical to one language. Sometimes they're similar or have something in common, but a lot of the time they're actually quite different. And some of them can be very funny as well. So, well, you might actually have a bit of fun watching this video. You never know. As always, the PDF version of this lesson is available in the description, so just click on the link and it will be sent to your email address. Right, let's get started. Number 1 is être simple comme bonjour. Être simple comme bonjour. Literally to be as simple as hello. But in English, you would say to be easy as pie or to be easy as ABC. Être simple comme bonjour. For example, ça semble difficile, pourtant c'est simple comme bonjour. Ça semble difficile, pourtant c'est simple comme bonjour. It seems difficult, yet it's easy as pie. Number 2 has the same meaning, être un jeu d'enfant. Être un jeu d'enfant, which literally translates to be a child's game. So in English, you would use either to be a piece of cake or to be child's play. Être un jeu d'enfant. For example, le plus dur est fait, le reste est un jeu d'enfant. Le plus dur est fait, le reste est un jeu d'enfant. The hardest part is done, the rest is a piece of cake, or the rest is child's play. You may have heard number 3 before, être dans la lune. Être dans la lune, which literally means to be in the moon. Can you guess what this means in English? It means to be daydreaming, to be miles away, or to have your head in the clouds. So for example, désolé, je n'ai pas entendu ce que tu as dit. J'étais dans la lune. Désolé, j'ai pas entendu ce que tu as dit. J'étais dans la lune. Sorry, I haven't heard what you said. I was miles away. The next one, être à l'ouest. Être à l'ouest. Literally, to be in the west. So this one is a little bit familiar, so be careful who you use it with. But in English, it means to not be with it or to be spaced out. For example, je n'ai pas beaucoup dormi la nuit dernière. Je suis complètement à l'ouest aujourd'hui. Je n'ai pas dormi beaucoup la nuit dernière. Je suis complètement à l'ouest aujourd'hui. I didn't sleep much last night. I'm not with it at all today. Number 5. Ne pas être sorti de l'auberge. Ne pas être sorti de l'auberge. Literally, to not be out of the hostel. So very similar to its English equivalent, which is to not be out of the woods. So the only difference here is the location. For example, c'est une très bonne nouvelle, mais on n'est pas encore sorti de l'auberge. C'est une très bonne nouvelle, mais on n'est pas encore sorti de l'auberge. That's very good news, but we're not out of the woods yet. Number 6 is an expression that means to know or to be aware of something. It is être au courant. Être au courant. Literally to be in the current. For example, excusez-moi, je ne savais pas. Je ne suis pas au courant de tous les détails. Excusez-moi, je ne savais pas. Je ne suis pas au courant de tous les détails. Sorry, I wasn't aware. I don't know all the details. Être au courant simply means to know. I don't think there is an English expression that has the same meaning. So it just translates as to know. Être au courant. Number 7 is probably the weirdest of them all because I have to give you obviously the word-for-word translation, but honestly, it doesn't mean anything. So, the French expression is passer un coup de fil à quelqu'un. Passer un coup de fil à quelqu'un. And I promise you, every French person knows what this means, and most people use it. It simply means to call someone, to phone. But the literal translation is to pass a wire hit to someone. Now, whatever is a wire hit, you tell me. But that's the word-for-word translation for it. Passer un coup de fil à quelqu'un, which you can use to mean to call someone or to phone someone. For example, Émilie me manque, je vais lui passer un coup de fil pour savoir comment elle va. Émilie me manque, je vais lui passer un coup de fil pour savoir comment elle va. I miss Emily, I'm going to call her to see how she is. Passer un coup de fil à quelqu'un. Number 8 is also a very common expression. It is appeler un chat. Un chat. Can you guess what this means? Appeler un chat, un chat. It means to call a spade a spade. But in French we say to call a cat a cat. For example, il dit toujours ce qu'il pense, il est très direct et appelle un chat un chat. Il dit toujours ce qu'il pense, il est très direct et appelle un chat un chat. He always says what he's thinking, he's very blunt and calls a spade a spade. Number 9, aller droit au but. Aller droit au but. In English, this means to get straight to the point. But in French, we say to go straight to the goal. So for example, je vais aller droit au but. Cette proposition ne nous convient pas. Je vais aller droit au but. Cette proposition ne nous convient pas. I'll get straight to the point. This offer doesn't suit us. Aller droit au but, to get straight to the point. Next is the complete opposite. Tourner autour du pot. Tourner autour du pot. To beat around the bush. But in French, we say to turn around the pot. Example, il ne tourne pas autour du pot, il dit vraiment les choses telles qu'elles sont. Il ne tourne pas autour du pot, il dit vraiment les choses telles qu'elles sont. He doesn't beat around the bush, he really says it like it is. Tourner autour du pot means to beat around the bush. The next one is an alternative way of saying je n'ai pas dormi de la nuit, I haven't slept all night. It is passer une nuit blanche or faire une nuit blanche, which literally means to do a white night. For example, je n'ai pas dormi du tout, j'ai fait une nuit blanche. Je n'ai pas dormi du tout, j'ai fait une nuit blanche. I haven't slept at all, I stayed up all night, or I pulled an all-nighter. Or even, I didn't sleep a wink. Number 12, it seems like whilst English people simply like to bend themselves backwards, French people don't like doing things by half. So, they bend themselves in 4. Se plier en 4, which literally translates to bend oneself in 4, means to bend over backwards. For example, je me suis pliée en 4 pour elle, mais elle n'est toujours pas satisfaite. Je me suis pliée en 4 pour elle, mais elle n'est toujours pas satisfaite. I bent over backwards for her, but she's still not happy. Se plier en 4 means to bend over backwards. The next one again is very similar in both languages. It is être la cerise sur le gâteau. être la cerise sur le gâteau. To be the icing on the cake. But French people prefer cherries to icing. In fact, you don't get icing on many French cakes. I think that's more of a British thing. Correct me if I'm wrong, but at least in France, I never had much icing on my cakes. So, être la cerise sur le gâteau, to be the icing on the cake. And être la cerise sur le gâteau translates to be the cherry on the cake. J'adore parler français. Pouvoir le parler avec des Français serait la cerise sur le gâteau. J'adore parler français. Pouvoir le parler avec des Français serait la cerise sur le gâteau. I love speaking French, but being able to speak it with French people would be the icing on the cake. When people can come to an agreement, in English, they simply meet halfway, which makes sense, right? In French, they like to cut the pear in two. Couper la poire en deux means to meet halfway. For example, comme vous n'arrivez pas à vous mettre d'accord, vous serez obligé de couper la poire en deux. Comme vous n'arrivez pas à vous mettre d'accord, vous serez obligé de couper la poire en deux. As you can't come to an agreement, you'll have to meet halfway. Number 15, if someone is rather moody, we can ask them if they got up on the wrong side of the bed. But in French, you would be asking them if they got up on their left foot. Se lever du pied gauche literally translates to get up on one's left foot. So for example, tu t'es levé du pied gauche ce matin? Tu n'arrêtes pas de te plaindre aujourd'hui. Did you get up on the wrong side of the bed this morning? You haven't stopped complaining all day. Let's be honest, we all sometimes get up on the wrong side of the bed. Et toi, c'était quand la dernière fois que tu t'es levé du pied gauche? Tell us the truth. Next, you can use avoir une faim de loup, avoir une faim de loup, to have the hunger of a wolf, to mean that you're starving or that you're ravenous. For example, je n'ai rien mangé depuis hier soir, j'ai une faim de loup. Je n'ai rien mangé depuis hier soir, j'ai une faim de loup. I haven't eaten anything since last night, I'm starving. Number 17, se vendre comme des petits pains. Se vendre comme des petits pains. To sell like hotcakes. But in French, we really love our bread, don't we? So it's only right that whatever should be selling like little breads and not like hotcakes because, well, we like our bread. Se vendre comme des petits pains literally means to sell like little breads. Les places se sont vendues comme des petits pains. On n'a pas réussi à en avoir. Les places se sont vendues comme des petits pains. On n'a pas réussi à en avoir. The tickets sold like hotcakes. We haven't managed to get any. The next one is a bit of a funny one again, as it really doesn't translate well. It is faire un froid de canard. Faire un froid de canard means to be bitterly cold, but word for word, it means to do a cold of duck. Faire un froid de canard. For example, n'oublie pas ton manteau, il fait un froid de canard dehors. N'oublie pas ton manteau, il fait un froid de canard dehors. Don't forget your coat, it's bitterly cold outside. Hopefully we won't need to use this expression much over the next few months since it's coming up for spring, thankfully. But anyway, it's still worth knowing as it's a very common expression, faire un froid de canard, to be bitterly cold. The next one is an alternative to the verb s'évanouir, which means to faint or to pass out. It is tomber dans les pommes. Tomber dans les pommes. Literally to fall in the apples. And it means to faint or to pass out. For example, quand une personne perd connaissance et tombe par terre, on peut dire qu'elle est tombée dans les pommes. Elle s'est évanouie. Quand une personne perd connaissance et tombe par terre, on peut dire qu'elle est tombée dans les pommes. Elle s'est évanouie. When a person loses consciousness and falls to the ground, we can say they fainted, they passed out. So, tomber dans les pommes means to faint or to pass out. Are you fed up with this video already? Ah well. In that case, you can use the expression en avoir assez de. En avoir assez de, and then follow it by what you're fed up with, means to have had enough of something or to be fed up of something. And word for word, it means to have enough of. En avoir assez de quelque chose, to be fed up of something. Tu es toujours en retard. J'en ai assez de t'attendre. Tu es toujours en retard. J'en ai assez de t'attendre. You're always late. I'm fed up of waiting for you. I've had enough of waiting for you. Okay? Well, hopefully you haven't had enough of my video, but well, it is a bit of a long one, so I couldn't blame you if you did. But anyway, again, another useful expression to know. The next one is a little bit gruesome if you think about it. It is coûter les yeux de la tête. Coûter les yeux de la tête. Literally, to cost the eyes of the head. But English speakers are not much better than French speakers in this regard, really, because costing an arm and a leg, you know, is still not very nice. That's the point though, isn't it? As this is what we use when something is very expensive. Si quelque chose est beaucoup trop cher, on dit que ça coûte les yeux de la tête. Si quelque chose est beaucoup trop cher, on dit que ça coûte les yeux de la tête. If something is way too expensive, we say it costs an arm and a leg. Coûter les yeux de la tête means to cost an arm and a leg. Next, do you know how to say when pigs fly in French? French people don't refer to pigs, but to hens, and say quand les poules auront des dents. Quand les poules auront des dents, which literally means when hens have teeth. Just as unlikely to happen, right? For example, elle prendra un chien quand les poules auront des dents, c'est-à-dire jamais. Elle prendra un chien quand les poules auront des dents, c'est-à-dire jamais. She'll get a dog when pigs fly, in other words, never. Quand les poules auront des dents, when pigs fly. Number 23, English speakers throw in the towel, French speakers throw the sponge. Jeter l'éponge means to throw in the towel, but literally translates to throw the sponge. So for example, je sais que c'est difficile, mais ne jette pas l'éponge, tu risques de le regretter. Je sais que c'est difficile, mais ne jette pas l'éponge, tu risques de le regretter. I know it's difficult, but don't throw in the towel, you're likely to regret it. Okay? Jeter l'éponge, to throw in the towel. Next, les chiens ne font pas des chats. Les chiens ne font pas des chats. Dogs don't make cats. What do you think this means in English? It means the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. In other words, children are like their parents, in one way or another. Les chiens ne font pas des chats. The apple doesn't fall far from the tree. Example, ma fille se comporte vraiment comme moi. Les chiens ne font pas des chats. Ma fille se comporte vraiment comme moi. Les chiens ne font pas des chats. My daughter acts a lot like me. The apple doesn't fall far from the tree. And last but certainly not least, as I think it's possibly even the most common of them all, perhaps I should have included it a bit earlier for those of us who didn't stick around till the end, it is faire la grasse matinée. Faire la grasse matinée. which literally translates to do the fat morning. Well, well, well. I really wonder who made this one up. But it means to sleep in. Well, maybe if you stay in bed for half the day, you're more likely to put on weight, and that's where the expression comes from. That would explain why I'm not so slim, since I rather like my bed. Faire la grasse matinée means to sleep in. J'adore mon lit. Je ferais la grasse matinée tous les jours si je le pouvais. J'adore mon lit. Je ferais la grasse matinée tous les jours si je le pouvais. I love my bed. I'd sleep in every day if I could. Isn't that the truth? I bet a lot of us are like that. But most of us can't do it. Anyway, this is it for me today. Let me remind you that you can download the PDF version of this lesson in the description if you want it. And I'll see you next time. Bye. Au revoir.